Hey guys, in this video you are going to see the plants which are collected by me from different places. This is the second part of my previous video where I show you the plants which I have for so many times but I haven't shown you. So all these plants are very easy to care and propagate, but some are not. In winter season these plants are hardly growing for me, but now in summer season you can see these are thriving very well. So the first plant here you can see is this regret cactus. This plant is also known as fishbone cactus. There are also some other name for this plant like zigzag cactus. This name is why because the leaves are like fish skeleton, as you can see. This plant cost me around 100 rupees. In winters, this plant does not do anything, but now it is thriving very well. This is an easy to care and propagate plant. The potting mixture I use is very well drained. I use 80% of coco peat, 20% of perlite and sand. I use terracotta pot. You can use any plastic pot for this plant. This is a succulent variety of plant, an epiphytic plant, so it is better to water it less. When the soil gets at least 90% dry, I water it. And here you can see my first try to propagate silver rippled peperomia, and you can see that I have succeeded. Just from one single leaf you can grow new plants. So if you are new to indoor plant, go for this plant because with less care you will get a plant which will last forever. Now you can see this is the third plant for today. This is a very good option because it will add color to your indoors with colorful leaves, and it also blooms with pink flowers. This plant is very easy to take care and to be propagated. I got this one cutting from my local area, and now after dividing it multiple times you can see the whole pot is almost full. This plant name is purple queen or purple heart. You can grow this plant very easily in your indoors as well as in outdoors. You can use any kind of potting soil for this plant because this plant will does very well in any kind of medium, but make sure that the container that the mixture is of good quality, lightweighted, and the container in which you are going to grow this plant have a good drainage hole. You can place this plant anywhere in your house from full sun to partial shade. I fertilize once my plant. For making the plant bushy, pinch the growing tips. I do it every time, and every time I pinch the tips I stick that part into the same pot. So the next plant for today is a variety of Peperomia. This Peperomia name is Peperomia axillaris. I have different varieties of Peperomia, but this is a quite different and rare plant for me. This is a perennial plant. You can see the leaves are quite fleshy and they grow in a compact clump. They love total partial shade area to full sun. They have succulent kind of leaves, you can see, so you need to water it very less. This plant was quite large when I purchased this plant, but because of overwatering I almost killed this plant. But after cutting off the spoiled stem and roots, I placed this cutting into direct sunlight for some days, and after some days when there is no spoiling or no root rot, then I keep this plant in a coco peat and perlite mixture, and then after some times the roots came out and now it's growing for me. So if you have any kind of cactus or any kind of succulent plant which is dying because of overwatering, then please stop that overwatering. Stop giving water to your plant completely and just take out the plant and keep that plant in total sun and pinch the or cut the spoiled part. I think that will help this plant to thrive after some time. So the next plant for today you can see this is a variety of Echeveria. Echeveria is a variety of succulent. Echeveria, this plant name is Echeveria Black Prince. This is a succulent plant. Very easy to take care, but never overwater any kind of succulent or cactuses. Echeveria, this plant have a thick stem and the leaves are like a rosette, like the rose leaves. The leaves are quite fleshy and have waxy layers on the above. Echeveria is a very slow growing plant. I purchased this plant for 80 rupees and now you can see that this pot is very full, and in cost of one plant I got 3 to 4 plant. Whenever I want to separate it or propagate it, I can do it. You can see this is in a very small plastic pot, but since there are no roots are coming from under the pot, I will keep this as it is. And if you have any kind of Echeveria or you are going to purchase one, then you should provide that plant very well drained soil and less watering. It is better to give your succulent or any kind of cactuses direct sunlight, and in case of succulent, if you provide direct sunlight for lots of time or much of the time or more of the time, then the succulent will show good color. So to stress this plant, to stress your succulent, you should keep always your plant in direct sunlight. And if you are keeping your succulent indoors, then you will see that the stems are quite leggy and quite long. That will not look good. So to keep your succulent very beautiful, provide that plant less watering and direct sunlight. So guys, the third plant for today is a variety of ivy or English ivy. This variety name is Saint Agnes. This plant cost me around 100 rupees. This plant I purchased in December, but that time this plant show no growth. Now summers are here and this plant is getting bright indirect sunlight or filtered sunlight, and sometime I keep this plant in low light area, and now this plant is growing very good and thriving very well. I water this plant whenever the top inch of the soil is dried out, and I fertilize this plant with NPK of ratio of 20-20-20. Ivies are very prone to spider mites, so whenever you are pruning your plant or fertilizing your plant or watering your plant, just keep on checking on the plant that if there are any spider mites, so remove that infected area or infected part and apply neem oil. I will keep my plant, keep this plant as it is for now, but if you have ivy and you want to make your ivy very bushy, then it is better to pinch the tip. You can see I use very well drained soil mixture. I use a mixture of coco peat, sand and perlite. You can also keep your ivy in hanging pot. Recently my watermelon peperomia have fallen down from my hands, and some leaves are get torn up. So if you have any kind of peperomia, don't throw that leaf or don't throw that plant away. You can propagate that leaf. So the second last plant for today is a variety of snake plant. As you can see, this variety is known as Birdsnest snake plant. Snake plants are very easy to care and very good for indoors because they will remove lots of varieties of toxins from your indoors. I have different varieties of snake plant. These are very easy to care and very easy to propagate. This is one of them, and this is the easiest and the great plant for removing chemicals from your indoors, as I told you earlier. You can guess that why this plant is known as Birdsnest snake plant, because the leaves are very clumsy. Here you can see that my mother plant have grown a baby plant after 6 months, and snake plants loves to be in compact form, so I will not separate this plant until the whole pot get full. You can use any kind of potting mixture for your snake plant, but make sure that the potting mixture is very well drained. Water this plant very less because overwatering will obviously cause this plant roots to rot. You can place your snake plant anywhere you want. Place this plant in direct sunlight to the lowest or to low light area, and also you can place this plant in medium area. But if you have variegation or variegated type of snake plant, make sure that that plant will get indirect but bright sunlight to keep the variegation in good shape. Any kind of variety of snake plant will not give you any kind of stress in basis of their soil or the water. You can use any kind of water for your plant, and you can keep your snake plant anywhere wherever you want, because the humidity level will not also affect any kind of snake plant. Soon I will upload a video regarding how I propagate my snake plant, because most of my snake plants are growing babies for me. So stay tuned to my channel. So the last plant for today, as you can see, this is in a hanging basket. This is a variety of Setcreasea. This variety's name is Setcreasea sabrina. The general name for this plant is wandering Jew or inch plant, and this plant is also known as spiderwort. This plant was the easiest plant to propagate in your indoors. In my future videos, I will show you that how I propagate my plant with just a single cutting. And let me show you the picture where I started to propagate this plant, and from 3 to 4 cuttings, small cuttings, I grow this plant. Among every hanging plant, this is the easiest house plant to grow. This is a plant best suited for hanging container. I place this plant where this plant gets bright indirect sunlight. I water my plant on alternative days. I fertilize my plant once in a month. Never place any of your Setcreasea in direct sunlight, especially this variety, because direct sunlight will burn the leaves. That's all for today, guys. If you like my content or this video, please give it a like, share this video among your plant friends, and kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And I really like to thank all my new subscribers for subscribing to my channel. So to know more about houseplant, please stay tuned to my channel. If you have any kind of queries regarding houseplant, please comment down below in the comment section. That's all for today, guys. See you in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.